Let's talk about saturation. So saturation is the amount of chroma in a color, and lack of saturation is how little color is in it, and we call that chroma. So if we look at this, to your right in this example is high chroma or high saturation. It is the most amount of red in this scene. To the left is the grayest or least amount of saturation or chroma in the color. And it's important to be using in our paintings as well. I'm going to give you an example that may help in understanding how we want to use saturation or chroma. So this is a painting I did in the Sierras, and it's blurred out on purpose because I put a color wheel and then colors across the bottom to show you how grayed my painting is. The color looks really vibrant until you start comparing it to vibrant color. And as you put these high chroma, high saturation colors, you can see that my colors are desaturated or low on chroma. And I will even put this gray bar across. So these are the most saturated colors, and this is unsaturated color. And you can see where my painting's living. It is living somewhere between the gray and the high chroma. But this is what we were talking about before with Winston Churchill's quote, is hold on to your reserves. So the more I gray my painting, I can really get more pop out of my color. If I go too high a chroma in the beginning, I have nowhere to work with it. So often with painting, people are very interested in, what colors you're mixing or what brush you're using, what kind of palette, what kind of easel. These are important as tools, but your true superpower is how you observe. The end product of the coordination in painting, I think, is signing your name in cursive. A lot of times it can be harder, or writing in cursive is harder than the dexterity it takes to paint. The real difficulty is how you observe, how you are interpreting what you see and processing it into how you paint. So the end product is just showing how successful you were at observing. So how are you going to get better at temperature? Observation skills and mixing skills. You're going to learn temperature, we all are. You don't have to be painting. You can be driving on the road. You can be just outside for a hike. Look at the ocean. Compare the ocean, that the blue is not all blue. Look at the sky. Notice that the sky above you is not going to look the same as the horizon. Go in the forest. Go all sorts of places where you can just observe. Another example I do is with clothing. If you were in a class and I was lecturing, if you're in an area where everyone seems to be wearing one color quite a bit, take a look and see if you can find the temperature difference. And then mix it. I want you to, once you can start observing it, see if you can mix it. Can you move temperature? And I recommend when you're painting, the least you can paint with white, you have to paint with white. But the reason we don't paint with white, we don't want to paint with black, I use them both, but you don't want them straight is because they lack temperature. Even though black is technically a dark, dark, dark blue, and as you mix it, it will behave like a blue. But if you are putting those on your painting, they lack temperature and they won't have life when you paint.